Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
What happens when you take a whole chicken, pack it full of mashed potatoes, top it full of gravy, insert some corn, then deep fry it? You've got yourself a meal. The all-new stuffed Pollo Todo Frito, now at Cluck and Bell. The meal in one just got massive. Cluck and Bell.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of Third Shift. It's episode 405. Yes, that's right. It's a brand new episode here in the wonderful town of Standish. We're camping. I'm out in the nature, the woods. Really, I'm in an RV that has AC, so don't let me fool you. But we're here, and it's another week, and we're still doing the show because that's what we do. And, of course, with me is the only inglorious bastard, Mr. Matt. He's here. We're going to have fun, talk about some stuff. It's going to be a good day, Matt. But before we talk about the games, how's the week? What's been going on?
Feels like it's been a weird week because I've done a million things, but I also feel like I'm in a super funk. But I'm going to talk about the real world stuff like always. And the only thing that I did in the real world times, right? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. I knew I was supposed to look at the calendar. I don't think I did anything yet. No, okay. WWE Clash at the Castle. It was a cool pay-per-view. Scottish crowd. Wild crowd. It's always cool when they go to a foreign land because the crowds are just bananas. They're just wild and crazy. It was that way too. Fun show, good show, not much else to say about it though. But the thing that I'm thinking about, that I was getting ready to talk about, and then I remembered this other thing, is I went and saw Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, over the weekend because there were only 2 shows left at the movie theater. And I went, well, if you don't see it, you're never going to see it. It's like we always talk about. And there was nothing else that I wanted to see. I would have watched Planet of the Apes, but I haven't been keeping up on the series, so who knows, whatever. And I know it takes place like 200 years later, but whatever. Watched Furiosa, and I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress. I really like her, so her being in Furiosa was cool. But I will say this was not the movie that I thought it would be, like, at all. It was a good movie. Like, if I think about it separately from what I'm just going to talk about right now, I enjoyed it. It was well put together, an enjoyable story. I like her character. She's a great actress. Fun characters here and there. Good movie. But if you think of Mad Max Fury Road, that movie is 90% action and like 10% talking. Maybe even not that, like 95 and 5. There's like nothing. And that's, people didn't like that about it, but it was just balls to the wall action all the time. Craziness. This movie, if you have that same ratio, it's like 80% talking and 20% action. And the action is still great. When the war rig comes around, and no spoilers, I'm not going to go into spoilers with characters or anything. When the war rig happens, then you're like, oh, snap. This is my Fury Road type of action. Here we go. 2 big, awesome set pieces when the war rig is involved. Great. Oh, yeah, this is what I'm here for. All the rest of the time, people are talking. There's meetings. There's guys getting together and going, hey, man, I want to do this thing. And the other guy goes, I don't want you to do that thing. And then they leave. And then the people who are in a big group at the one guy's place go, I don't like that he's trying to do that thing. What should we do? We're going to... When you meet a villain, he goes, rah, 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 rah. I've got a big old long monologue, and here's what I'm all about. And when events happen, they're like, oh, well, if you do this thing, then you're going to find out that blah, 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 blah. And it's not bad. Like, I love movies where it's just talking and no action. But I went in going, man, here we go. Blowing stuff up and crazy action and just shit everywhere. Woohoo, it's going to be awesome. And instead I got a good movie with little bits of it. And like I said, it's when the war rig happens, which is fairly late in the movie. The rest of this movie is good. It's a good movie. But don't go in expecting Fury Road because you're not going to get it. You ain't going to get it. And I was in like a weird headspace the whole way through because I was like, here it comes. Oh, it didn't. There's that character from Fury Road. Now it's going to start up. It's not? Okay, well, there's a big action right happen. Oh, they just drove away. They drove away from... They're driving away from the action. It's weird. But a good movie overall. Just know that going in. And I know, obviously I'm speaking to nobody at this point, because if you wanted to see it, you've seen it already. And if you didn't want to see it, you're never going to see it. But there you go. That's that.
True that. I did enjoy it. I think I talked about it already, but I really liked it myself. I did also go in thinking there was going to be more car-to-car going-ons, but no, it was a lot of dialogue. But I enjoyed it because the characters in it really pulled off what they were trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I really enjoyed just getting to see her becoming what she was. And then where it left off at was just like perfect. It made me want to go watch Fury Road right afterward just because of how succinct it all was. And, so yeah, I do agree with you though overall. A lot more dialogue this time. A lot more.
And I couldn't remember if you had seen it or if you had talked about it or if it was just so long ago now since the movie even launched that I've completely lost all memory of it. But yeah, good movie. Everybody should go see it because it's good. Then on the video game front, oh man, I did everything. I played every game. I played some Lords of the Fallen because, like I said, it came out on Game Pass last week. And I went, man, I love Lies of P. Let me play some Lords of the Fallen. Started playing it. Pretty good, but there's just something off. It feels off. It feels light. Like when I'm hitting enemies, it just kind of feels like my guy's going swish, swish. And when I run, he's like zooming. So it's not bad. But I'm just like, that's not, it didn't, I don't know. It feels weird. It felt different than I expected. So I kind of went, okay, well, this is why I have Game Pass. So I can try any kind of game. And if I don't like it, no pressure because I didn't buy it. Boom. All right, put that to the side. Maybe I'll finish it again another day. Well, people have been buzzing about this other Souls-like, and I've had it downloaded for a while. Let's try out another Crab's Treasure. Okay, got into that because I've been watching some reviews of it. People love it. Iron Pineapple had it on his Steam dumpster diving thing again, and he really loved it. All right, try it out. And it's bright and colorful and cool and funny. All right, cool. But it just feels off. Like I felt like I was out of control when I'm moving around, like all the time. One of the first enemies comes up, it's this little fish dude, and he doesn't like come straight at you. He does this like the side thing, he goes, and he does like a big old tail swipe. That's his attack. And it's easy to dodge, but you dodge, but you're locked onto him, and he's moving, and you're rolling, and the camera is like doing this big spin. I felt like I had rolled like 10,000 miles away, but you press attack and you're boom right there. And I was like, every time I dodged and moved, it felt too light. It felt weird. Like I was just like out of control. And you're doing a bunch of platforming and I still have that weird feeling. Maybe it's because I don't like see a shadow underneath me. Maybe. I don't know. It was funny. I got to the first, there's a boss in a castle is all I'll say. Beat that boss inside of a few tries. Had fun with it. But it's like, maybe I'll play something else right now. Okay. On Whatnot, I got a 2-pack bundle for Xbox of Rare Replay and Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Put in Rare Replay, played some Battletoads, went, oh man, that's goddamn speeder bikes. I got like to the end of it, but every time I die, I'm out of lives. So you gotta do the whole thing over again. It's like, if I just had one more try, So I went, okay, another day I'll do that one. Let's play Battletoads, the arcade game, because that's on there too. Played it, had a bunch of fun with it. But it made me ask the question, Eric, and you grew up the same time as I did. How in the world did our parents ever let us play these arcade games? Because I bloop in, oh, there's an enemy here. The enemy has like 1 frame of animation, which moves him like this much, and he like takes out all your health because you're stuck in this combo. I'm like, okay, well, there's infinite credits, and I don't care. I'm just here to have fun and beat stuff up. Okay, I died. Reset the credit. Bloop. Brrr. The life is instantly gone. Like instantly gone. And you get 2 lives per credit, but I was like, what? And there's certain enemies where you knock them down, and then they do an attack inside of like a single frame, and you get knocked all the way across the screen and lose half your health. And I went, how is... Like, I remember there were games where I stopped playing because it was like that. But I was like, man, how... This was like prevalent. How in the world did our parents think, I want to go play a game? No. You're not wasting my money. And parents did do that. Mm-hmm. But it was just like so blatant and in my face. And I went, God bless America. That's, whew. Thank God I'm playing this 20, 30 years later on this emulated version. And man, but I had fun with it. That game's fun. Started up Gears of War Ultimate Edition, played through the first level or 2 of that. That's like old school fun. When you were talking about Emergence Day last week, that was me playing this. It was like, oh, here I am. I'm home, having a great time. And the only other game I played is Persona 3 Reload. God, just the best game ever. Just the most wonderful game. I had the day off yesterday because of the holiday. And I played it for like 6 hours. And God, just, I got to the first ending before the next endings. And if you know, you know. That's not really a spoiler for Persona games. When you think it's over, it's not over. There's more to the story. Got to that point. It's great. Met a new character. Hate him. Oh, it's great. It's reviving those Akechi vibes from Persona 5. It's so good and so much fun. I freaking love that game. And then the only other thing I did, I played this cool game. It's called, it was right after the big stream. I played this cool game called Walk Outside the House and Get in Your Car and drive to a place. I don't know if you ever heard of this place, Eric, because I don't know if you've ever been there, you ever go there.
Probably not.
It's called Sushimoto. And you just eat just piles of sushi. You eat a salsa roll and it just burns your tongue and you're like, salsa roll, and you dip it in the soy sauce and you drink a big old beer there too. And you get home and like 4 hours later you got acid indigestion riling you up, but you go, it's because I'm so full of sushi. Sushi. Amazing. Great. And that was my week this week. What you been up to, sir?
Well, I didn't get no sushi this week. Didn't do that. However, we went and did a show last Thursday. Then did some stuff, packed up. Friday, we took off to the campgrounds where I am currently at, as I told you at the start of the show, and I've been here the entire time. What a day. What a week. It feels like it's been 2 days, Matt. 2 days. It feels like we've been here only a couple days, and we're about to go home and then go to work for weeks on, and it's going to be glorious. It's a sad thing. But this whole time, we've had a whole bunch of fun. Went swimming pretty much every day. Well, not me, but the family. They go swimming pretty much every day, doing some putt-putt golf. They got a little arcade here. Went and did some, Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, playing on a pinball machine, Interstellar. I don't remember, not Interstellar like the one you know, like the movie, but like an old school pinball machine. I can't remember what it's called anymore, but something about space station, I don't remember, whatever. Either way, having a good time with that. Got the girls out on some kayaks, let them goof around. We went on a paddle boat, and I cooked myself, and, it was fantastic. And then I did something today that I haven't done in over 11 years. Father-in-law's with us, and he kept going, we got to go golfing, we got to go golfing, we got to go golfing, we got to go golfing.
Hell yeah.
So after years of hiding from him and not golfing, we went golfing.
Nice.
And it was glorious, man. Got them clubs back out again. Hitting the ball, sucking, but that's okay, You're going to suck when you come back after 11 plus years of not golfing. But towards the end, all of a sudden, I'm getting that nice, get the wedge, get that nice, right onto the green, feeling good, looking good. So it was coming back, It's still going to suck if I was to do it some more, but at least I was getting good shots by the end that looked like it was from someone who knew what the hell they were at least doing somewhat. But I'll tell you, the amount of times that I would dig that club into the ground or just hit it with the toe of the damn club and just have it go off to the left or right, it was tough. It was tough. And on top of it, this course has a river and a stream running through it. And yet, what it decided to do, what it thought was the greatest idea, was have each hole just go back and forth across the river and stream. Mm-hmm. So all of the holes except for one, you had to get over water. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Lost, I think, 4 balls total to it, but we found 2 random balls. So down 2 balls, that's not too bad. It came out not too shabby. So yeah, it was fun. Well, not too bad. And tomorrow we were supposed to stay another day. However, thunderstorms are rolling in here at about 3 p.m. We don't want to be packing up and dealing with that, and then they're going to last all through Saturday. So it's like, well, there's no point in just being here with thunderstorms. So we're going to pack up tomorrow, get on home, and then just enjoy a chill, casual weekend, which I'm sure will be some house cleaning, some going-ons, you know what I mean?
You know what we could do if you're home on a Friday, brother? We could, boot up this DLC that maybe you're going to talk about. I don't know. And we could, try and figure out how to do that again.
Is that even out yet? I thought it was next week.
It's out tomorrow. I've thought for sure you were going to have that be your release this week.
Oh, no, I don't even have a release this week, Matt. I don't have nothing.
Well, now you do. Hey, well, I talk about something else. Scurry, and scramble the brim. No,
oh, God, what is this? Oh, I thought it was next week. And I did, however, in anticipation of that, I started downloading the game here on the PS5 because it's all hooked up in here, and the Wi-Fi's very bad, but it's here. And as of today, 8 days we've been here almost. It's about 70% way through downloaded.
Right.
We're almost there. I just chuckle because, of course, if I was at home and pushed download, it'd have been done in like 9-10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And then it'd be all ready to go. It's funny. I don't know how people survive with internet like this, but whatever.
I thought it was next week or even later than that, but I got a spoiler alert because one of the things that never happens in the real world, you and I have talked about it, nobody we know games. Like, you never run into a gamer out in the wild, at least for us.
No.
But I was sitting at my desk, and I have the Erdtree desk mat at work there. And I was sitting there working on something or just jacking around, wasting time. And dude peeked his head over my cubicle and went, "Hey, nice mat there." I go, "Oh, thanks." He goes, "You excited?" Yeah. It jogged in my brain. He's talking about the DLC. He went, "Yeah, I can't wait. I've been gearing up and getting my DLC run ready." He was using all the terms that everybody uses. I'm like, "Whoa, this guy's like a serious guy." So I went, "Oh man, this was like last week." And I went, "I sure hope that's not coming out on Friday." And as soon as he walked away after our conversation, I went, tick, 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 tick. When the hell does that come out? Okay, the 21st. Okay. I got it. Whew, okay. I'm not too much of a goober. I'm like, I can't decide if I want to play a new character or just keep on my own. But it was cool. So that's how I know about it. Otherwise, I would have forgotten too.
Well, you definitely ain't playing a new character, man. You'd have to go through the whole damn game again, or at least get through Radahan or whatever, and then Moog or Moore, whatever their names were.
Well, I actually misspoke. What I said was, I don't know if I want to start playing now and actually get my skills up, or just go in and
just go in fresh.
Just fall and flail, yeah.
I'm like, you got time to play this 100-hour game again? All right.
I mean, I do. No.
Sure, all right. Alan Wake 2, buddy. You haven't even got to that yet.
What are you talking? I never even heard of that game. I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. So, of course, as I was saying, the PS5 is here, and I've been gaming too, of course, while we're here, having a good time. And I beat Stellar Blade, got through it. It was a hoot and a holler, a lot of fun. They left it open for a part 2, which is no surprise because the makers of it already said that they're highly considering a second one since this one was so successful, which I hope they do because I had a lot of fun with it. And I ended up getting the best ending you can get, so it didn't matter that I didn't get the fishing stuff all done and finish up those little quest lines because I did all the storylines I needed to do to get the other character that I needed, which I won't spoil, but you got to do a certain amount of things with that character to get to this extra place that you will not go to if you don't do a certain amount of stuff with this side character. So just spoiler if you ever do play it, you got to do all the things. Do all the things, which you already will do, so it doesn't really matter. But the ending was cool. The last couple fights were actually tough. Even in story mode, it took me a time or two to beat them, which then I went, man, now I really want to get out normal and see what this thing's all about. Because, of course, by the end of the game, now I know my stuff. I know I'm parrying, I'm blocking, I'm doing everything. I'm getting perfect dodges. So then I went ahead and started up the New Game Plus, which you got to do because there's a costume you get at the beginning of that, which then will proc the trophy for all the costumes in the game. So I wanted to get that. So, boop, bang, bang, that popped. And I went, well, let's just go a little ways in, see how it is. Put it on normal. Started going. And, of course, I'm smoking stuff because I have all my skills, everything, my abilities, weapons, all that I had at the end of the game. But even with me just smoking them because of that, I'm also smoking them just because I know what I'm doing. I went, man, this would be fun to get a good challenge on all these bosses. And I went, no, stupid. Too much to do. So without getting tempted again, I deleted the game, got it off the PlayStation, freed up some space, and that's when I put Elden Ring on there, and I thought, I'll play this and get my skill set up ready for the launch, which I thought was next week, which is apparently now. Either way, didn't matter because I just told you, it's only about 70% of the way through, so I'm still not playing it. So I did what you always do, and I got in a little, I don't know what the hell to play. I got a million games I should play. So I went and popped each one on, just playing it for 10, 20 minutes. Played Yakuza. All right, I'm just so lost. I need something that I can just drive with right now. I don't want to invest the time to get back into this right this second. Turn that off, playing some, put on some FF7 again. I'm like, no, don't, you're done with this. You beat this. So I turned that off immediately. I was like, what the hell? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to play. What am I supposed to do? And then I went, you know what? Let's play some Persona. So Elaine, she likes to watch. So I'm like, hey, pop it up. So she'd come sit over here. And of course, like you, I played that a whole bunch as well this week. I'm still nowhere near where you're at, obviously. I'm way in the beginning of the game. I just got through the first set of midterms, and, loved just doing that again. Just brings back all the good memories. Got to get all the questions right. Had to study to make sure my academics was at 3 before the testing, so that way I could get first in my class and get all the good stuff, which I did. And now I'm focused on getting like charm and, courage up, and it's a whole thing. Like you said, being back in there is fantastic. I want to keep playing it, but since Elaine likes to watch me play, I can't play it when she's not around. So I'm still I need to find something to do, which I did not succeed at doing. So I'm stuck.
And I'm just laughing because this whole time when I got on, I went, man, Eric's been gone for like a long time. And he usually plays Persona when he's gone for a long time. Oh, man, is he going to catch up to me? Not that I'm worried about it or anything, but I was just thinking, is he going to get on the show and be like, hey, I beat the game? So at least I've lucked out in that Since it's a girl's game, you have to play it when she's around, other than like a dungeon crawl or something dumb.
Otherwise, yes, I would have come on and probably said I beat the game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the wee hours of the morning every night.
I'm at 86 hours right now, so I don't know about that.
I don't know, buddy. You underestimate me playing. I've just been going nuts. So that is what I wanted to do, but I haven't. So I went back to the usual standby, playing and watching a bunch of anime, and actually getting to watch some regular shows like The Boys. It has a new season, so I've caught up on a few of those episodes. But since that one's so gory and crazy, the girls are usually right here playing and watch shows. I can't watch that one when they're around because it's just too much. So went back to do my standbys and my usuals, and now I'm all caught up on all that. So I'm even to the point now where I don't even have much of that, so I'm just looking at subpar stuff, watching this, doing that. It's a whole thing. But overall, it's been a great week. Cooking tons of food, having fun. Now here we are, and this beautiful, beautiful Thursday.
And you don't have a release this week, but I got one, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm not going to go into spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it for myself or for you, but I'm going to tell you that Still Wakes the Deep, surprise, it's out as of the 18th of June, developed by the Chinese Room, published by Secret Mode for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. This is that game where you're in like an oil rig and stuff is going down, and there's creepy monsters and all kinds of bad stuff, and the whole place is falling apart. We both watched the trailer when it was revealed only a few months ago, I feel like, and bam, now it's here. Story of our lives, story of every release over the past few months. But what I've heard about this, I watched a couple reviews, and people are, overall, I'd say enjoying it. But I feel like what they enjoy the most is the theme and the setting. Because it's not just you're on an oil rig. It's like an oil rig in the 1970s, and it's like a Scottish-owned oil rig. And I think you're kind of an American who's come over to hide from his past and go work with these guys. But what people are loving is the voice acting, the character behind each of your coworkers. Like, they're all very lively and very feel like they're of the time, but it feels like a group of dudes that you would have just hung out with in those days. And hearing some of the voice acting, even though, they got the big crazy accents, it's real thick accents and everything. Once you kind of get into it, you're like, that just sounds like the guys, working with the fellas. And people are loving it. To me, the graphics look really good. The only weird complaints that I've heard, and this is in the IGN review, so take it with a grain of salt, is they're saying, man, it's just so linear. You're going, there's only one path to go down. You can explore a little bit in the opening, but not a lot later. And I went, okay, well, that's fair, though, because then they can craft your scares, because you're going to be going this way and looking this way, and then, monster, scary things. But then that person also said, but I get lost, and I don't know where to go. So how can you be linear and get lost? Especially because this is a yellow paint game. They even show that and kind of say, we don't like that it's yellow paint. And they are going to have a patch later where you can turn that off if you want to bring your immersion up some more. But how can you be lost when it's linear and it tells you where to go and what to interact with? I don't know about that. But I will say, seeing the video of this, the game looks really cool. And just, even if you're not getting chased by a monster, even if there's not scary stuff, the oil rig is falling apart. So you're having to jump off of these broken catwalks and flail to grab a ladder that's in the distance. And, I'm not really a flails and jumps kind of guy, but watching that one in these nice graphics, this first person perspective, seeing the giant drop below you, even though it's essentially a cinematic thing because you're jumping to the thing you have to, it hooked me. in a couple of those reviews I've been watching, there's like some little set piece, little scenes where like you're crawling claustrophobically through the pipes. I'm like, oh boy. And then you hear, and I'm like, oh boy, it's getting me. Even just watching the review where somebody's babbling over it. So if this is your kind of game, it's not really my kind of game, but if you're interested in some Chinese room type of horror, some amnesia type of horror, definitely check out Still Wakes the Deep. It looks cool, and I love that it's a unique setting. In other horror games, you're in an old castle or an old town or a dilapidated whatever. Here you're on an oil rig. There's nowhere to run. You got to find a way. It's falling apart. Monsters, craziness is happening. People are referencing The Thing, so like twisted things are happening. Ooh, oh boy. Check it out and get some scares. It Still Wakes the Deep. And guess what? I'm going to talk about it in a second, but it's also on Game Pass. See, if you have Game Pass, you don't even have to buy it. You can just play it right now. Go get it.
Another game, apparently, you're going to be able to play right now as you're listening to this, and if you're listening to this tomorrow, is Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Matt was so gracious to let me know that it actually hits tomorrow and not next week. So here we are. We get to talk about it a little bit. It's a From Software DLC for, obviously, Elden Ring, which came out a couple years back. At this point, everyone's going nuts. Everyone's excited. I've already seen reviews all over the place. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's a perfect DLC and almost a game in itself, as I'm being told by all the people out there in the video game media world, and I can't wait to get in there. However, as I already kind of told you, you do have to have beaten Radahan and Moog to access and play this and have a good time with it, which, if you're playing normally, is like 40-ish hours in to the game. So you're going to have to put in some time if you got your character either A, into the New Game Plus, or B, haven't played the game period yet. So just be aware that you can't just go directly into this and have a good time. And then on top of that, to access the DLC, you got to go to Moog's Chamber, or Moog's wherever it was. Was he the underground one? Is he that big snake guy?
No, he was the blood guy. He was like a total side thing. You could go do or you could avoid him. So like I know where he is, but I never beat him.
Okay.
So if you have to like beat him and then you gotta like touch like an arm or something that's over there.
Yeah, there's an arm dangling out of a cocoon, and that's what you got to touch to access the DLC. Because the DLC goes back in time or something like that.
Hopefully that's not like behind where he is. Hopefully it's somewhere in the tunnels and things.
It does say you have to have beaten him.
Ah, crap. Well, hey, you can help me beat him, and then I can help you beat him. It'll be good.
I already beat him, but I can help you beat him.
Okay.
So I don't know why or how or when, but I did go beat him already. So, but yeah, we can do that. It'll be a great time. It'll be fun. So you got to do that. That'll get you in there. Then you're going to travel back in time, and you're following in the footsteps of some god. I don't remember these names. There's too many names. But you're going to follow in their footsteps because something got done that's bad to another god, and the other god's mad about it, and they did bad things to each other. And you're going to try to help out. In whatever way it is, you're going to help out. You know how that is, Matt? It's going to be doing like Elden Ring stuff.
You'll be killing stuff.
You're going to go to dungeons. You're going to go into the woods. You're going to explore these open-ended world environments and have a great time. There's baddies you'll be familiar with. There's new baddies to experience. All new boss fights to experience. And from what I hear, they're very hard, very challenging. The game assumes you already know how to play from the word go. So get ready. I'm not ready. I'm going to be terrified and suck and get very frustrated. I have a feeling. But there's no way I can't check this out because Elden Ring, of course, is a masterpiece, as we all know. So we'll be in there, Matt. We're going to kill some baddies, get killed, and maybe give up like we did on those 2 horse guys that one time.
Oh, yeah, screw those horse guys. But I will say, the other thing people have been talking about is there's tons of new weapons, new weapon classes, plus like 1 million weapons in all the different classes. So all kinds of new stuff to get. And people have been talking also about the upgrade system, because you get these new seeds, and that acts as like a different kind of leveling up on top of your traditional. And people are loving that. Like you can build yourself all kinds of different ways, use all kinds of different weapons, and not just be doing like, oh, well, I have my halberd that I used through the last 50% of the game. That's just what I'm going to use. No, you have a whole spread of new stuff to get.
And on top of it, you can find those seeds all over the place. So if you're having a real rough time with a particular spot or boss or whatever it is, you can just explore. And in the oddest places, you'll find these seeds, which make you more powerful, which then allows you to go back and then, of course, hopefully beat Yahoo was giving you trouble in the first place. And speaking of new stuff, they got like melee combat now. You get to choose like a form of martial arts. So you'll be able to do some melee stuff. That sounds really cool and interesting. Can't wait to see how that plays out.
Dude, the perfume bottle one, where you're essentially just like throwing waves of fire out, and it doesn't cost MP because you're using your perfumer bottle things, That looks freaking crazy. As soon as I saw that, I went, whatever stat that uses, I'm going to respec and start doing that because you're just like throwing fire and shooting fire around or whatever elements you have in your perfume bottles. It looks nuts.
It does. The game looks crazy. It looks amazing. It's the only DLC you're getting for Elden Tree. Elden Tree, you like that?
Elden Tree.
Oh, my mind's already jumping to something I saw earlier in the day when I was looking again over the Nintendo Direct with the Zelda stuff. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we ain't no Elden Tree. We're in the Elden Ring, folks, all right? Jeez, oh, Pete. But another thing, speaking of rings, free game, Matt. Free game over on
That's
Epic. It's Freshly Donuts or something like that.
Freshly
Whatever
frosted.
it's called.
Freshly
I don't
frosted.
have nothing, man. I got no resources here. I'm going off the top of my head. I got 3 screens full of stuff at home when I'm doing this. I got no screens full of nothing. That's what I got.
Well, it's a good thing. This is a good thing. It teaches you to minimalize. So when you go home, you're like, oh my God, it's so much real estate. It's like when you're sitting on a hardback chair and then you finally get home and you sit in the lazy boy and you're like, oh, thank God. Mm-hmm. Oh, my life is actually good. Oh.
It's very true. It's very, very true. So, I got the cushion here, but it's like a stiff back. Man, got that crick in the back. Jeez, oh, Pete. But you're right. It's Freshly Frosted. That's the name of the game. It's basically like a conveyor belt. You build a bunch of different conveyor belts, and the little, donuts / cookies, you got to get them to go through the different areas to get the frosting and the cherries and the sprinkles and all that stuff. And it's up to you to see how the belt goes through to get most effectively get all these yummies done up and looking good. It's a silly little game, but it's free if you want it over on Epic.
And hey, maybe you don't like getting scared by Still Wakes the Deep. Maybe you don't like fighting tough bosses. Maybe you do just want to frost some donuts. There's no problem with that. And maybe also on Epic, if you love playing Rumble Club, you get some coins, you get some gems. It's the free game of the week bonus. It seems like a free-to-play game. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to tell you about Game Pass. Because, hey, on Game Pass this week, it Still Wakes the Deep. Surprise. I already told you that. But if you're not into being scared, you can play My Time at Sandrock. And I tried. I swear to God, I tried to figure out what this game is like. And the best I can say is it's probably like Stardew Valley, sort of. But every review I watched just said, oh, it's just like My Time at Porsche. Okay, what does that mean to somebody who's never played that? The review would just talk about comparing it to the previous game. And I tried looking at the Game Pass description, and it just went, hey, check it out. Gonna go do some stuff at Sandrock. Have a good time. The gameplay I saw, I guess you're in a town, and you're building stuff, and you're farming, and you're meeting people. So Stardew Valley. That's what I'm going to say it is. That's what you get. And then jump on Amazon and get some free games, which I also don't know anything about. There's Deceive Incorporated. I'm guessing that's a sneaking game. There's The Invisible Hand. No idea what that is. I'm sorry. I've been in a funk. I did not do my due diligence. But Calawarez is there. So you can shoot stuff as a cowboy in like the 1800s in the first one before it goes to Calawarez, the cartel, and all the modern day stuff. I don't know. I saw a guy with a gun and a cowboy hat. So there you go. If you want to shoot some... I was going to say shoot some Indians, but I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say that. It's not PG no more or whatever. PC. There you go.
If you want to shoot some bad dudes, or maybe you are a bad dude and you're shooting good dudes, I don't know. If you want to be a cowboy / outlaw, go play some Call of Juarez. I think in the first one you play a good guy, and then in the sequels you play horrible humans. I remember that being the only thing I know about those games. Anyway, bunch of free games. Go check them out. Get more games added to your queue. Just like pile up games. Because there's not any other games coming out, right? There's nothing else coming this year.
No, there's surely not. There's surely no other games coming out because we didn't just have a Nintendo Direct that we both watched with more games coming out. We didn't do any of that. Never happened. Mm-mm. And I wasn't shocked and surprised and happy to see all these wonderful games coming to the Nintendo Switch and other areas. None of that happened.
It definitely wasn't wonderful and yet horrifying at the same time because you had to write down like 10 games out of here, even though you're probably not supposed to buy any more games this year. But look at them. Look at them all, and they're coming. Like some of these are coming like in a week. Mm-hmm. Some are coming like right now. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it was wild. I was actually I'm shocked. I'll go for a big one right off the bat. The new Zelda. Mm-hmm. I did not expect that. I could have sworn, and I know I'm not making this up, that they had an interview with the director / maker or whatever of Zelda, and they said we're done. This is where the direction we're going, which is of course with the new the new Zelda open world thing. I'm 100% certain that's what was said. So I thought Zelda was over. for me anyway. And then they were like, hey, check it out. We got a brand new one. Was it Echoes of the Fallen or Echoes?
Echoes of Wisdom.
Echoes of Wisdom. There you go. There's so many Echo games coming out, I can't keep track of them. But yeah, you're going to take the role of Zelda instead of Link. And right there, it shows you Link falling into one of the voids. Zelda's like, oh crap, what do I do? She meets this little fairy creature, gets the Rod of Wisdom, and off she goes. And I'm like, okay. Well, she's just going to zap people with lightning and whatnot? Nope. It's going to get a little more creative, a little more weird. Apparently the rod will recreate different items throughout the world that you can find and use to then combat and maneuver across this beautiful looking Hyrule. I mean, that was like really nice looking. And if you actually get views like that, which I assume you do because that was in game, that's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful, wonderful, getting to go through all these different environments, figuring out how to solve all these different puzzles, traverse the different areas by recreating beds, posts, bad guys even, to maneuver and manipulate your way through everything. Looks fascinating, looks fun. Cannot wait to check this one out.
Yeah, I'm not a big Zelda person. I'm more of a 2D Zelda guy, which this is that kind of top-down 2D style. But when they said in the whole little showcase, yeah, you can kind of make this your own. Every player is going to get through the game differently in this one. I went, now you're selling me. Because if I can do, not like Dan level of just like derping around and getting through by like just blocking the boss in with beds and like throwing fireballs at him, or like I only use the winged screeching monkey attack and I took down bosses with just that one. Whereas, you're using the proper stuff, you're using the sword guy and the knife guy or whatever. I love that kind of thing. You've heard me, listeners, on this podcast all these years. I love games that I can make it my own. And they literally said, you can do that in this one. That sounds amazing. It sounds awesome. Another thing that sounds amazing and awesome, and this has been announced before, but every time I see it, I want to get it. And then I kind of fade, and I had a deluxe edition of this pre-ordered, but Nintendo World Championships NES edition. There's something about this. Like, everybody knows the legend of the Nintendo World Championships cartridges from back in the day on the NES. But this is micro-sized, speed-runny little challenges. How fast can you get the first mushroom in Super Mario Brothers? How fast can you feed the first enemy in this? How fast can you get to the top of the level in this? Like Super Mario Brothers 2, it was just like them jumping up to the top of the level. And it sounds silly. It sounds kind of dumb. Like, oh man, a 3-second challenge of you getting the mushroom? Who cares? But something about it, man. I'm not an actual full speedrunner, but going through all these games from your childhood, where they're all shined up, they're all cleaned up, and this cool presentation, and it's doing these little micro challenges. And then some of them are longer ones. I think somebody mentioned, like, how fast can you get to Bowser and beat him in this world, essentially. So you're going from small speed runs to, like, maybe sort of level-long proper speed runs. It sounds really cool. Like I said, I had the deluxe edition pre-ordered, and then I canceled it because I was not going to buy games. And then I saw this again, and I went, I shouldn't get this, and I shouldn't want it, but I want it. And it looks fun.
The fact that you could pull up the classified pages like you could in the old Nintendo Powers.
Yeah.
And then get the hints and tips and tricks on how to actually, improve your speed runs and whatnot. That was awesome. That really had me going. I love the fact that they got, of course, all those different really cool Excite Bike. Man, I want to play Excite Bike again. That looked great. Of course, Mario 3. What was not to love about it? I, like you, very much interested, but not going to have time for that one this year. So I'm going to let it go. Let it go bye-bye. One that kind of surprised me, though, and I don't know, maybe I've seen it before and just didn't think about it or whatever, but Mio, I can't even remember what it stood for anymore.
Memories in Orbit is what this says.
Okay. That one looked amazing. I mean, it looked, of course, like your Celeste type, game, which I love and I enjoy playing. Hopefully it's not too difficult to where I end up falling off and not finishing, just like I've done with Celeste and Ori. But I want to check this one out because the artwork on it was incredible. And your traversal with using like the tentacles / hair, whatever that is, really kind of reminds me of like Kabuki Quantum Fire way back in the Nintendo days where you had the red hair and you'd fling that around. And you're using that to get all over, latching on and stuff. This had that same little vibe going, but on a much cooler scale. So that was kind of a quick shocker. And it wasn't on everybody's thing because at first, man, I didn't watch the entire Direct. I was like, all right, I'll just go watch a cheat one, see what it had. And then, of course, several of them were like, everything talked about Nintendo Direct. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I'd hear somebody else mention something that was not on that video. And I went, okay, to hell with this. So I went back and just actually watched the whole Direct, and then that one came up, and I was pleasantly surprised and happy to have seen it and watched it. So definitely check out MIO if you're interested in a fun Ori/Celeste type game.
And I'm going to jump a little bit further back in there because I don't know if this is a remake or another version of it or a sequel to it, but there's been a game called Fantasian exclusively on Apple Arcade forever. And I've always heard people talking about it. It's really good. And people are saying, this is finally like a proper RPG that you can play on your phone. And we're not phone game guys, but people have always said, this is the one. And it's by Hironobu Sakaguchi, the founder of Final Fantasy and everything. It was spun off into Mistwalker Studios. And this is the proper phone RPG that he made with his team. Mistwalker Studios, where they've been? They've been making phone games. And this one's apparently really good. So they revealed Fantasia Neo Dimension coming to the Switch. Like I said, I don't know if this is that game. I don't know if it's a sequel to that game. I don't know. But I've heard good stuff about Fantasian on the phone being a proper, really good RPG from a guy who makes proper, really good RPGs. If it's the same, if it's a sequel, I don't know, but I'm interested. I got to play it because Sakaguchi made it. It's going to be good.
Indeed, it will be good. I know it will be good, but I will never play it because I'm not playing it on my phone, Matt. I will
But you're
never
going to play it on your
my
Switch.
phone.
You're going to play
I
it on the
won't
Switch.
play it on the
here.
Switch. The Switch, no.
You love
Will
playing
not.
Switch games. You love holding it up like this, and you have no problems. You just lock in, and
Yes.
you're good to go.
Never an issue. Never an issue. Now, a game I will play, however, it won't be on the Switch. It'll be on the PS5, but it was at the Switch Direct, was Dragon Quest III HD 2.5D, whatever, remake that is coming out. And, of course, they surprised you with the fact that they're doing 1 and 2 as well. But 3's first because, of course, 3's actually the first one in the line because it jumps in time, so you got to do that in order, blah, blah, blah. It is coming later this year. I think it was November, and I cannot wait. It looked absolutely gorgeous. You know, man, I didn't expect it at all, but seeing it and just getting to go back in time to an old school Dragon Quest game, you know, that vibe and that feeling, and just the music and the baddies, all of it sold me 100%. And I went, man, I wish I could play this on the PlayStation. And I went, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Yep, it is coming to the PlayStation. So I can get my trophies. I can play it over there. You can play it on the Switch too, or you can play it on the PlayStation, wherever you want to. But as of this November, you know that's where I'll be because I love Dragon Quest. And getting to go back and do the first ones all over again with the brand new graphics, the beautiful visuals, 100% sold on it. Cannot wait.
I am mostly sold on it. I agree with most of what you said, but I had two brain blasts with this game. Because one, didn't they announce this like 4 years ago? Like, I feel like I've been waiting for a Dragon Quest HD 2D game, which I thought was going to be 5, not 3. Like, we've talked about this like ages ago.
Mayhaps.
And then it just fell off the face of the earth. And then now it's here. So I am excited, but I was just like, where the hell has this been? Is this the one? Is it not the one? But then the other thing was, I guess looking at it, it does look beautiful and wonderful. But I have PTSD. I shouldn't say that in jest, but from that HD 2D art style. Because Octopath Traveler, I can't play that. It's too whack. It's too much. Triangle Strategy, it was great for 90%, and then it rammed my head through a cliff and threw my dead body off of there. Blah! But these look exciting. These look very cool. And speaking of exciting and cool, it's one I'm not going to talk too much about, but I was amazed that it's happening. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero. Phantom Brave is one of those PS2 tactical RPGs. I've never beaten it, but I've played hours upon hours upon hours of it. It's that game where you and they mentioned it in this trailer too, but you're friends with a bunch of ghosts. You play as like Marina, she's like the little girl, and all her friends, well, not all her friends, but all her friends are ghosts, but to make them manifest in the world, she imbues these objects with their spirit. So if you are normally like a hard-hitting dude, but you can only imbue him into a flower, which ups his magic, now he plays kind of different. Now everything's a little bit different. I loved that game when it first came out. Like I said, I've never beaten it. I think I have it on PS2 and on Wii, and maybe I think I have it on Switch now too. But now there's another game in that series, and I'm just excited to play it again because seeing the ring system, seeing your friends into the objects, and then actually like in some instances like becoming the object. Like there was the little tank gun thing, and he was like blowing people up in the air. So it's even more becoming the object. It just looks like a ton of fun. I can't wait to start playing it, realize there's way too much into it, and then probably never beat it. But I will have a great time with the little that I do end up playing it.
I'll tell you what, Matt. Tales of the Shire, Lord of the Rings game. That's where I'll be. I want to be a hobbit, man. I want to live in my little hobbit freaking house, and I want to build it and make it look the way I want. And I want to have tea with my neighbors. No, I'm just kidding. It does look neat, but that's not for me. That's not the game I'm going to talk about. But if it is for you, there you go. That was also talked about more here at the Nintendo Direct. As soon as you said house building, I was out. I was like, I don't got time to figure out what rug I want, Matt, where I want my tables, where I want to put my chair. I don't care.
It's like redoing the den, dude, but in virtual land and as a hobbit.
I don't even like doing it in real life.
Dude, you can invite Gollum over and hang out with him, or like hit him with a stick and drive him off. Come on now.
If I could get Gollum in there and his voice and everything, I might do it. Maybe, if he can live in my house and just hear him constantly. But last one for me anyway, Matt, and of course you can go as long as you want. But the only other one here that I'm realistically going to play and mess with is none other than Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This game, this is one you were just talking about. It's been talked about and announced for, 8-11 years now, probably as long as my daughters have been alive, and we're just now getting it. But not even this year, 2025, just 2025, no date, no nothing. Just next year, everybody, for sure. Promise this time, right? They actually had gameplay, though, so that was promising, and it looked gorgeous. It looked fantastic. It had all the identity that you need of Prime, the Prime-type games. You're going to your Morph Ball, you come up, you got the targeting on the enemies, you got your old blaster out. It was all there. They showcased everything you would want to see and know from Metroid Prime-type games. It's all there. It's all intact. And I was worried for a long time because the original studio that was doing it wasn't actually the ones who did it originally, but then it went back to them. But I was wondering if they were going to just take what was made or start from scratch and start over. I think they started over, hence why it took another 7-8 years. I hope it's good, and I hope they actually finish the storyline, because I feel like this is like a troubled series in my eyes at this point. So I really hope they kind of finish it up, so no matter where they move, we don't got to worry about the Prime series anymore, and can move on to whatever the hell they want to do with Metroid in the future, which may be nothing, because from all I hear, while beloved, it doesn't sell a ton. So who knows? Maybe this will be the last one we see in a long time.
Maybe they'll announce 5 right afterwards, and then we'll be like 70 years old and finally get it.
There you go.
But that was the last one for you. There's a couple more I'm excited about, but won't play right away. One is Mario and Luigi Brothership. I didn't expect the Mario and Luigi games to ever come back. I've always loved those games, so I want to play that one. Also, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I want to play that one because I've never played it, because, again, I have PTSD from one night. We're hanging out drinking. We went upstairs, and you used the bathroom, and I was going to go do something else, and your wife went, "Here, take this Wii remote and play some Donkey Kong Country Returns." And I went, "What?" And I started running, and she goes, "You got to waggle the Wii remote." And I went, "Huh?" And she went, "Ha, you're not very good at video games." And I went, "I'm drunk and trying to waggle something. What are you talking about? Take this away from me. I'm never going to play this game again." So if I can actually play it with buttons and hop and jump and move, and I've always heard it's good, so that's a good one. I'm going to play that sometime. But the two I'm excited about, and I told you this, and they came back to back, and my head exploded. Literally, I was sitting in the cafeteria at work, watching the direct, and I went, "Oh, shit!" And I had to, lower my voice, because I didn't realize it, but my hands were on top of my head. Because first up, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. I played the first one that came out here in the US, and it was wonderful. And now it's been so long that I can't even remember if I played the second one via a ROM hack, in my R4 DS flashcart days, or if I've never played it, because the second one never came to America, was never actually properly localized. But boom, here it comes on Nintendo Switch, just like the great Ace Attorney Chronicles from years ago now. Boom, here it is. I can't wait to play that. Those games are awesome. I love the whole series. The Ace Attorney Investigations one, it's a different spin on it, but the first one was still awesome. And then I have to go back and watch the trailer again and get just hyped all over again. But the 100-line Last Defense Academy, I was watching it, and I saw the main character, and I went, "That's Danganronpa, dude." And then he grabbed up a girl, and I went, "That's Danganronpa, dude." There were these weird, bubbly enemies, stuffed animal type of mascot characters overrunning the town. And I went, "That's Danganronpa, dude." And then they got into the academy, and it was presented in that it's 3D, but here's the 2D people, and they're talking, and the boxes are right there. The text boxes are Danganronpa, and the look is Danganronpa, and everything's Danganronpa, except for the gameplay, which looks like sort of tower defense from that isometric tactical perspective. And I went, I don't know about that. But then they showed, it was like one little clip, one little scene of like, you have this class of like 20 or 13 or however many people who are there with you and are your units for battle. And then they showed a scene after one of the battles of them all being distraught because someone died in the last battle. And you have to get through 100 days of battles with this. And I went, that's taken a whole different spin on it. Like Danganronpa itself, it's dark and it's terrible and it's despair-inducing. But now it's like, not because one thing is torturing you all and you're turning on each other. A big mass is here coming at you, and you have to go through trials and tribulations, and maybe some people will die in the conflict, and you can't do anything about it. It's despair in a whole different way. It's Danganronpa in a whole different spin. I know I keep saying Danganronpa, but it's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. So to see that art style, see that feel back in this totally different spin, I can't wait to see what the twist is. I can't wait to see what kind of awful stuff happens to you and your friends in this game. Oh my God. I can't wait. Hopefully it runs really well, because the last Danganronpa game did not run well on the Switch, but hopefully this runs well, or it's available on PS5. Ooh, baby. I couldn't believe it. I don't even remember anything about Metroid Prime 4 because that blew my mind away. I exploded. I had to piece myself together. Oh, wonderful.
That did look really cool, by the way. And of course, I immediately also recognized it as Danganronpa style because, I've seen you play so much of it that I'm like, oh yeah, that's Danganronpa. Mm-hmm. What are they doing? Where's the killing begin?
Oh yeah.
There's got to be killing and murdering. I know that has to happen. And if sure enough, they showcased it, it's going to happen. You get all your killing and murdering. And you know what? Speaking of killing and murdering, I'm glad we waited a week almost, really, Matt, because now I'm calmed down. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Veilguard, Matt. Okay? Last week, we got a nice little view of the game, actual gameplay of what you're going to be doing in the new Dragon Age game, which both me and Matt, we loved. Well, to an extent. We both have issues with different ones, but he loved the first one. I loved the second one. Neither one of us cared about the third one, apparently, which is weird since we both... Which is strange. I should get to it, but realistically not going to at this point. Mm-hmm. But we're coming up on the next one and the newest one, and we both wanted to play it. And they showcased it. A lot of trouble. This game's been in a lot of pickles over the years. And when it hit, I was just mad because it did not look like Dragon Age at all. Mm-hmm. It looks like an entirely different game. I think I said to Matt, it looks more like a Fable game than anything.
Yeah.
It's got like lighthearted, like colors and vibes going for it. A lot of, goofy talking, like, oh, we're quipping, making jokes and this and that and this and that. It was really bugging me. And I was like, what we got to talk about is what the hell are they doing? Why are you going to take a franchise and completely change it? And of course, a week's gone by, and now I'm just like, I don't know. What do I care, really? I don't know if I care. Do I care? Matt, do you care? What's going on here?
Just like you said, I was kind of fired up for that first reveal, because it was like, it wasn't even in the graphic style of the game, because they were showing off the characters, and they had the explosions of color behind them, and everyone was so pretty, and it looked almost Fortnite-y, like smooth graphics and smooth characters. And then they showed the gameplay, and it was more serious looking. Like, I like the graphic style here more, so why did you show it off in a totally different style before? But, I don't know. The only thing that fires me up about it is people who want traditional Dragon Age, like me, who are disappointed that it's not traditional Dragon Age, and then everybody online goes, well, actually, the whole Dragon Age series has been wildly different from one game to the next. Why do you think I didn't like 2 and I'm never going to play 3? And I don't really want to play this one either. It's because I want my Dragon Age. And this isn't Dragon Age, but like you said, I'm not mad at it. Maybe it'll be cool, but I just feel like that trailer too, the gameplay reveal trailer, there was something off with the voice acting in that one. Like, it felt not serious. Like, they're going to do a serious thing, and apparently if you played Inquisition, you know this character, and you've traveled with him, and he turned on you, and now he's bad. Oh, no. But the voice acting was just, it felt flat, it felt weird, it felt unengaging, which is not what I want in a Dragon Age game, in a BioWare game. Dragon Age 1, the voice acting, I don't know if it's aged well, but it was on point. You were doing bad stuff, and you felt it. It felt like you're doing it. And this, I just felt like, oh, hey, well, go get that guy over there. I'm a mage. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, that's you hope that's the new meme is
Yes.
I'm a mage.
I'm a mage.
Hopefully that sticks. I'm a mage. But no, I agree with you on that. Like when Varric or whatever his name is goes up to Solus, who's the elf guy, and he's like, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing this. This is bad." It didn't have any importance to it. There was nothing there. It was like he was just casually telling him not to destroy the world and didn't really care if he did or didn't. It just didn't make any sense. And then, of course, him going on his own, "Hey, I'm going to go just do this by myself because I know him and he'll probably listen to me." And then everyone goes, "No, he's not going to listen to you because he's in the middle of doing it and he's going to finish it." "Nah, he'll listen. Just go over there for me." I was like, what? That makes no sense. Sure enough, like you said, and even in the thing, he didn't listen. He shoots the dang crossbow out of his hands, and he's like, oh, shoot. You shot the crossbow out of my hand. I still think this is bad. And it's like, well, okay, apparently it ain't that bad. Apparently we don't care that much.
I'm just going to stand here and watch you do it instead of like scrambling in, trying to tackle you, trying to do, I don't know. And if you as the new character are such buddies with Varric, why didn't you just go anyway? I don't care if you, Eric, tell me, "Hey, kick back, dude. I'm going to go talk. It's going to be real dangerous, but I'm going to go by myself." No, man, we're going. You can walk like 5 feet in front of me and talk to him, but I'm going to be there. Like,
Yeah.
it was weird.
That's just what makes sense. So I agree with you. Some of the storylines, some of the voice acting with it just didn't seem to vibe right. And maybe it's just because we're jumping in at a spot like midway through the beginning area and you haven't kind of got that relationship thing going yet with your characters. Maybe some other stuff happened where this would make more sense as to why he would just split off like that for no real reason. I don't know. I will say, though, graphically, going through the town, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the details and everything on like some of the just side stuff. And then when the demons are jumping in and out of the linear path you're going on, I really love that. I love it when you have linear paths. You know me, I like linear paths. I don't like open world crap. But incorporating stuff from outside of the path and bringing it into the path to like make you feel like the world is still there. Stuff is happening and existing outside of your path. You just can't go to it. That stuff is great. And they showcase that there. So I was real happy about that. Hopefully that's everywhere. And from what I hear, according to an interview, which I'll be reading and or watching here soon, they talk a lot more about what parts of the game are like super linear, how you get around. I think it's via teleportation devices. And then you go from one like semi-open area to another, to towns and hubs, etc., etc. I won't know until I read it, but that's the gist of it.
I mean, if that's the case, that's kind of like original Dragon Age, because when you went from hub to hub, it did like the little Indiana Jones on the map, and you could have random encounters in semi-open areas. So if that's the case, you're kind of giving me a little bit of what I want, maybe. And I don't know, maybe it's just the old Dragon Ager in me. But like you said, everything looked really cool. Like the environment looked cool. The crazy like magic zone you're in, because you're obviously in a different part of the world. I can't remember what they call the world, but in Dragon Age 1, you're in one part. In Dragon Age 2, you're in Kirkwall. In 3, you're in like Orlais, I think. So this is the other like magically infused, super advanced area here. So if you're into the Dragon Age world, there's a whole different spin on it. You're going to see all kinds of different stuff. So I don't know. I don't want to be uninterested in it, but I still am. But there is some good stuff here. I'm not going to be that guy who just craps all over it because it looks cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I calmed down over the week about it all.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's Dragon Age like I wish it would be. But being a different game and on its own, I still might enjoy it and have a good time with it. So I'm going to keep watching it, keep seeing what it's all about. I just wish, being that it's named Dragon Age, it would have stuck more closely to what Dragon Age originally was, which was a more realistic, not bloody, but brutal world.
Yeah.
And whereas this one looks more fantastical, more fable-like, which isn't necessarily bad. I just don't like when things change that drastically in a genre. It's just strange to me why you would do that. Because obviously it sold well, being what it was, why change it? But I could be wrong. Maybe it'll be great, and I'm going to love it the most out of all of the other two I've played, but who knows? We'll have to see, man.
Possible, but not likely. But hey, we can't close the show. I won't let us close the show without the best segment in the entire world. It's Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. As a reminder, guys, last week's question was, what game comes pre-installed on every PlayStation 5 and is used as a tech demo for the console's new controller? The answer is Astro's Playroom. If you haven't played it and you have your PS5, definitely play it because it's a lot of fun. And then the second cherry-picked Eric Batten question.
Oh, God.
I am such a nice friend. You better get this because you referenced it earlier in the episode. That's the only hint you're going to get. Question. In which 2018 video game does the player character Madeline try to climb a mountain despite being hindered by a dark version of herself? What's the answer, Eric?
Was that Elden Ring? It's 2018 or 1920?
No, that's you're being a jokester, and that ain't it. No.
Oh, what game, man? Oh, it's duh.
You got it. Hooray. See, I'm not a bad friend. I'm going to give you your point right now. Bing, bang, boom.
I got it. Hey, folks, you can get that question too. Maybe. But I did.
I have faith in you folks. So if you have the answer to that question, if you have any feedback on our thoughts, if you have things from the direct that we missed, because there's a ton of stuff we haven't even talked about that you're excited about, let us know that, or literally anything else, via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftME, find us on Facebook on Third Shift, hit up the Discord, the Patreon, hit up the Twitch stream, hack into like my EarPods Pro, whatever these are called, AirPods Pro, and just whisper the answer into my ear when I least expect it. Oh, it'll be so freaky.
I guess Matt's into that kind of thing. You could do that. Don't do that to me, because you might end up with a knife in you or something like that. I wouldn't recommend it. But besides doing that, you can go over to Patreon and donate $1, $2, $3, any kind of dollars. Keeps the lights on, keeps the bills paid, keeps Pod being fed so we can give you the shows every single week here in the internet world. If you don't got any cash, though, that's fine. You can give us mailbag questions. You can go over to the Discord, join us over there, chit-chat, give us the answers that Matt wants to hear with his awesome, cool little quiz questions that I'm never going to get right unless he handpicks them for me for ones I know, which I love and adore, and I'm glad he's doing it because it makes me feel better about playing the wonderful little game. And also, where's them 5-star ratings? Better be seeing them. Let's get on it, folks. 5 stars. On the iTunes, over on Spotify, wherever the hell else they do it. You know the deal. Get it done. Get your grandma to do it, your mom to do it, your uncle, your aunt, your cousins. Everybody needs to get over there and do it. Or go over to Twitch. Use your Prime subs, because you all got those. Everybody's got Prime. Throw it our way. That also helps us keep the lights on and bills paid.
Absolutely. And of course, if you can't do any of that stuff, at least listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on or around the 27th of June. Hey, it's going to be my birthday episode. Send me birthday wishes. Tell me how great I am for my birthday. I'm going to plug my birthday till the end of time. I'm never going to say when Eric's birthday is because I don't even remember. I only know my birthday because I love me so much. But that episode will be dropping. Did I say on iTunes, on Stitcher, and Podbean, Spotify, and on YouTube? And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, rating, review, comment, a subscription, any good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out. We really do appreciate it. I'm actually not into my birthday at all. I'm not one of those guys. But it's a fun bit for the show.
Indeed it is. And he's lying. He loves his birthday. He takes the day off. He disappears for days at a time. And he's super stoked about this one because he doesn't have to worry about work anymore.
That's right.
Like he would in the past. But that's okay. It's all good. Just get out there, give us a 5-star rating in honor of Matt's birthday for next week. And with that being said, I don't know. Is there anything else? I don't know what's going on. What's happening?
No, sir. There's nothing else to say but...
Don't forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.